If you are wanting to call in more money right now, make sure you stick around because in today's episode of the podcast, I'm going to help you get really clear about what it is that you actually want and how you can attract it into your life sooner rather than later. If money is something that is important to you, well, you are going to love the fact that doors are open to the Profit Academy Accelerator once again. This is my ultimate money mindset course where I take you through how to use mindset, energetics, and action to achieve the outcomes that you want in your business and your life so that you can have more financial freedom. That is more money to do the things that you love. This course has had a content upgrade. I'm going to be adding more value into this program than I ever had before. And I'm going to be teaching it live. And doors are open now for a limited time only. If you want to find out more about Accelerator, you can go and click on the link in the show notes for today's episode. And there is also a really special upgrade that I have available, which is called the Accelerator Inner Circle. This is a way that you can connect with other ambitious entrepreneurs who are like minded like you with big goals and also have me as your mentor. It's a 6-month program, and inside you get Voxer, that's like a voice text messaging app to me and the other inner circle people. So, if that sounds of interest to you, you do need to join Accelerator to have that upgrade available. So, go and click on the link in the show notes for today's episode. I would love to take you through how you can really up-level your entire mindset around money so that you can manifest the things that you want into your life. Oh, and one last thing. If you jump into Accelerator now, we have an early bird special available for a few days only, which is a massive 50% off the cost of the course. Like I said, it's the early bird special. It's only available for a few days. So if you do want to do some work on your money mindset, I'd really encourage you to jump in sooner rather than later. So let's talk about a hack that I found incredibly powerful when it comes to calling in more money. See, a mistake that a lot of us make is we say, I want more money. And you might have goals. You might have some big goals like, I want a new car or I want to go overseas. But you aren't super specific about exactly how much more money you really want and exactly what you want to use it for. So, the first thing that you're going to do is get crystal clear on the exact total amount of money that it is that you are wanting to call in. Now, again, a lot of times people will say, okay, 100,000. They'll come up with an arbitrary amount of money. But I want you to get really crystal clear about exactly what that looks like. So, this is the method, this is the strategy that you are going to use to get crystal clear about what that looks like. First of all, think about the things, the ways that you specifically want to spend or invest this money. Now, don't just pop estimates down here. This is very, very key. We want to be crystal clear about the exact amounts. So let me share what I mean by this. Let's just say that you are wanting to get a new car. If you've listened to the podcast for a while, you will know that I recently got my first brand new car, a Tesla. And I'd had on the vision board for a while to get a Tesla, but I hadn't actually priced it up. I hadn't actually figured out what model I wanted and what color I wanted and how much it actually cost. I mean, I knew ballpark, but I hadn't gone and actually priced it up. So, this is the first step that you are going to do. Think about the things that you want. Think about what you want this money for. And next, what I want you to do is actually go and price each of those things up. If you want a new car, I want you to actually go into a car yard, have a look at the car, work out, do I want any extras? Do I just want the base model? What exactly is it that I want? Get really, really clear. And then we're going to pop that amount of money down. Then you are going to repeat this exercise for anything else it is that you want. So some of them might be materialistic things in your personal life, like a holiday or a car. There might also be things that you want to invest in inside your business. Or there might be, you might want to set up an account for your children so that you can create some sort of a legacy. And you might want to come up with a bit of a game plan. Okay, I'm going to put this much in every week or every month or whatever it might be. So this is where the rubber really hits the road on this strategy. It's getting crystal clear on the exact amounts of money. Again, if you are a regular listener of the podcast, you'll know that one of the big manifestations that I have in my pipeline is that I want to manifest building a new house. Now, truthfully, we're not in a financial position to be doing it at the moment, but we're still going ahead. I've had building designs drawn up, and I'm still proceeding to go and get council approval and then go and get builders to price up the exact amount. Because at the moment, to me, it feels like a huge, insurmountable sum of money. But truthfully, I don't even actually know what the exact amount is. So, whatever your desires are, whether it's to hire your dream copywriter, whether it is to do a renovation on your bathroom, whatever it is, go and actually price it up. And I know sometimes people can have a real reservation in actually even going and getting a quote. Like you might really want to have a new website built by a particular web designer, and you think, I don't want to waste their time if I'm not really ready to invest that money yet. But here's the critical thing that you're missing. That step, that is actually helping to give clarity to your subconscious mind, to your energetics around that actual desire. There's a real part and parcel of the process of actually going through the motions of chatting to the dream copywriter, the dream web developer, the house developer, designer, whoever it might be. That is actually part of your manifestation process. It's getting clarity and it's also taking action. And something I found as well from going through this process is sometimes things aren't as insurmountable as you thought they might have been. So, an example with the Tesla, I was actually pleasantly surprised when we went through that process. The car wasn't as expensive as I thought that it would be. And having gone and looked at the cars as well, I realized that a lot of the base functionality was more than fine. We were more than happy to get the white model, which is the cheapest model. So sometimes you might be pleasantly surprised when you actually go and price something up. I've also had this experience when we've gone to price up holidays. I might think, I really want to go on a holiday, but it's out of the budget right now. But sometimes when you actually go and do some research, you can find some really great deals. And I know that that's been my experience in the past, something that I thought was completely out of the budget, not on the radar for now. When you go and price up, you think this actually might be able to happen sooner rather than later. Conversely, you might have the opposite experience. You think, okay, wow, that's more than I thought that it would be. But at least you then have that knowledge and that power, and you can start to come up with a strategy around the how. When something's just a pie in the sky dream, there's no way that you can start to navigate a track of how to get there. Our brains are actually incredibly powerful. And I've got an example that happened actually this morning with me and my husband. We found a school that we really, really, really love that we want to get our children into for high school. And they came back and said, you can't get in, it's too late. And my husband said, what are we going to do? And I said, here's a game plan of some things that we could do to start to move us closer towards that goal. So, an example how this might play out when you're wanting to manifest one of your big goals. Maybe you have a coach or a mentor that you really want to work with, and you go and price it up. You get on a discovery call with them, or you go and look at their website and say, okay, that's how much it is to work with them. And maybe at this point in time, it's not something that is financially an option for you. But you've then got the number, you've then got the goal that you can work towards. And you can start to say, okay, what's a way that I could work with this person in the meantime? Something that I've done myself when a mentor or someone I've wanted to work with is a little bit outside of the investment that I'm willing to make at that point in time. I then go, what's another way that I could access this person or this knowledge? I've recently invested to work with a new coach, and it wasn't actually the original coach that I wanted to work with, but they had trained someone under them in the exact same techniques. And they said, you can work with this person, and it's a fraction of the cost. So there might be other ways that you can still access that knowledge or that skill set that perhaps isn't the all-in bundle. At least you know what the ultimate goal is that you're working towards. And in the meantime, you can come up with a game plan around the how. This is the way that I teach about manifestation. It's not about, I want a car, and we just hope and pray that a car magically rocks up. It's identifying, getting crystal clear about exactly what it is that you want, and even why you want it, what you think it's going to create in you. And then coming up with an actual game plan, some strategies to move you closer to it. Another example of how this has played out for me, I know you're listening to a podcast. If you are watching this on YouTube, you'll see my beautiful white smile. I did not have the best teeth. I was not blessed in that department. And I had always wanted to get veneers. It's been something that I'd wanted for many, many years. And I'd always just assumed that it was something completely inaccessible to me from a financial point. But I went and did this exact process. I went and met with a dentist, and I said, how much is it going to be? And he told me the amount. And particularly at the time, I thought, whoa, that is way outside of my current budget for this area of my life. So I asked him, is there any chance you'd do a payment plan? And he'd been our regular dentist for many years. He knew and trusted me. And he said, yeah. And here's what it could look like. And he didn't even charge me interest on the payment plan. What an amazing dentist. Anyway, I digress. The point is, I then had an amount of money, and I then went about coming up with a strategy to come up with that amount of income to fund it. I put a new offer out privately to a couple of people that I had worked with previously. And I said, hey, this is a special opportunity that's come up. This is a way that you can work with me, and this is how much it will cost. And guess what? 2 of them jumped on it straight away, which was more than enough to meet their repayments to get my teeth done. So, the one thing that I really want you to go and do straight away after listening to this episode of the podcast is to go and get crystal clear on your desires, get crystal clear on the exact amount of money that you want, and exactly how you're going to spend it, including actually pricing it up. And while you're doing it, I want you to challenge your subconscious mind. What's a way that I could make this work? An essential part of the manifestation process is action. And rather than looking at something as that will never happen, how can I make it happen? I truly hope you've enjoyed today's episode of the podcast. If you're starting to see the power that your money mindset can have, that taking aligned action can have in terms of transforming your life from both a financial perspective, but also in terms of creating the freedom and opportunities to do the things that you really want with your life, I'd love to welcome you into my course, Accelerator. As I said, there is a massive early bird discount available right now, and there's even an exclusive opportunity to upgrade your experience and have me as your coach, mentor, that you can reach out and ask any questions that you have. When you get stuck, when you're having those mindset wobbles, I'm there on call along with a group of ambitious entrepreneurs that you can surround yourself with as well. The early bird offer is only available for a few days, 50% off, a huge, huge discount. And you can also upgrade to have that inner circle experience. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the podcast. If you do go and take some action off the back of this, please send me a DM on Instagram or send me an email. Let me know. I love to hear about your wins. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to chat to you again next week.